Good morning and welcome. Happy Hump Day. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And how you doing? Do I stairs? It is the sun. Yes, the sun is back. After 5 glorious days of rain, the sun is back out here in the valley. And you know what? I was ready. I'll admit it. You know, that's a lot of days without any sun. But it's nice that it's back out, but we love the wet weather as well. I hope you guys aren't stuck to a water pipe wherever you may be listening. Welcome to all you podcasters and where YouTubers and wherever else you may be listening to this show. We thank everybody for their support. Just a great mood today. Got a great action in the gold and silver markets. We're going to get Jay Powell out this afternoon. I got a funny feeling. Everybody already knows what he's going to say, but we'll get to that in a minute. You know, yesterday was our bowling league. I've never been a bowler. You know, we once or twice a year, my wife and I, we take the kids to bowl, you know. But my buddies, we're all pretty much empty nesters. You know, my oldest son's 18. He's senior. You know, he's got a car, so he really doesn't need us. And so we're finding things to do. Pickleball, right? We got a big do. We're having a big pickleball match tomorrow. I'll keep you updated on that. But we are crappy bowlers. And I don't know how, you know, you think, you know, we've been bowling now. I think this is the 3rd week now. That, hey, you know, starting to bowl regular here, that you'd get better. Nah. It was a horrible performance. I just could not knock the stupid pins down. You know, the pin that's in the front, right? I'm aiming at that pin. I could never hit it. I don't know what was going on. We are in the, well, let's just say the non-serious league. And I thought that we were playing one of the other teams. They got this old couple. They're so hilarious. They're so fun, and they're playing. And I don't know if they're like their grandkids they're playing with, or they're just 2 guys that picked up. They had their bowling shirts on, and I got all thrown off by it because we don't have our bowling shirts yet. So I was all jealous. It was. Let's just say the whole team. We bowled very, very poorly. We are in last place in the league. We have yet to win a match. And yesterday, yeah, we got blown out. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, we just but hey, we're having fun doing it. And here's the thing is bowling's a little more physical on your body than you think, you know, and really it's whatever your landing leg is. For me, it's my left leg, which is my knee that needs to be replaced and all that stuff. But I've been telling you, asking you to support us in the radio station. We got the best CBD products in the world. I'm telling you right now, it's been incredible. A lot of you know, and I've told you that, you know, I got surgery on my elbow because I had a nerve that was crushed. I have arthritis in that 6th and 7th vertebrae. You know, the one where the hump on your back is, you know, when you go down your neck and you got that little bulge, like kind of at the base of your neck there. That's the vertebrae there. And they say I'm going to need surgery on it. This is, you know, because it causes me discomfort. And it has for several years. And the doctor was like, listen, this is just, you know, old sports injuries and you know, just wear and tear on you. I'm telling you right now, I haven't felt this good, at least and especially in my neck area, since I started taking the CBD products that we're selling. And again, and I've told you guys this before, I was not a CBD person, don't know anything about it. It's not marijuana. There's no marijuana in our products. My Kind CBD, who we have partnered with, it's the best of the best. When you talk about CBD, here's what you want. You want it to be organic. right? You want it to be chemical-free, no pesticides, no herbicides, no heavy metals. You don't want synthetic, right? You know, the lab-made CBD products. You want it to be certified, independently lab certified. Every one of our products that's on our website is independently lab certified, every single one. And we won't put them up there unless they are. And of course, everything's made here in the United States. In this case, everything's made in Colorado. And I'm telling you, we are half the price of anywhere else you get it. Because I know a lot of you buy CBD other places. We're half the price. And it's the best of the best. When these guys come in, oh, well, ours is the best. No, this is it. This is the best of the best. All they could do is say, well, we're just as good. Okay, maybe you are. Maybe you have all those same things. But it's half the price. Don't pay more. Go to 1360khnc.com. Hit the shop button. It's going to really help the radio station. Speaking of the radio station, if we're lucky today, our nighttime problems may be resolved starting tonight. We're finishing work on this north tower. If we get lucky, that'll be up. If we get unlucky, it's going to cost another $2,500, which we're going to spend. We're going to fix it. But we're hoping we don't have to do that. And then our daytime signal, we may be back to full strength as early as today. So, and I know we made a lot of progress there. Just to keep you updated, we're getting there done, baby. 800-951-0592. When we get back, we're going to talk about what could Jay Powell be saying. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. We got the Fed meeting today, the press conference. Gold earlier today, it was down $25. It's not down now. It's come all the way back. Same thing, silver. Silver got to like $24.75. It's all the way back. The Dow is down 600 plus points. It's now only down like 350. As I'm sure somebody's gotten a release of what Jay Powell is going to say ahead of time. And again, and I just laugh, right? Because this is so fake, right? They want you to believe that these guys know what they're doing. They don't. They've lost all control. We know this. And the fact that they have to try to give them credibility, they have to. Because if they didn't, then what are they saying? They're saying, hey, listen, your money's not worth it. The rest of the world's already saying it. I don't know if you heard President Xi give his address. Davos is virtual this year. Where all the billionaires hang out and the bankers. Do you know he didn't even mention the United States in his speech? He just made reference to, hey, you can risk your money with other countries, or you can come to China. China's ready. We're ready to step in, or you can put your money other places. And then he proceeded to rattle off all the reasons why you wanted to be China's friend. And it was really very interesting, as now that Joe Biden is in power, China really plans to flex its muscle, right? Because, at least Trump was on that, was on everybody, dude. Don't trust these guys. Don't make deals with these guys, all of these things, and that's gone. But we got Jay Powell. He's going to be talking around 2:30 Eastern time. But he's going to release the Fed statement at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Right? So I think that's like, what, noon here? But we already know what he's going to say. Right? And again, remember, they want to pretend that they're all, what is he going to do? And And yes, they're so credible, and they're all seeing. They don't know their hand from their ass. I mean, really, they don't. They talk about tools of, oh, we've got all kinds of tools. You know what that means, right? Hey, we got to make up economic policy because we don't know how to deal with what we've done, right? And that's really what it's all about. But here's what he's going to say. He's going to say rates need to stay low, right? They're very unhappy about the 10-year note yield. I mean, they're buying hundreds of billions of dollars, and really over just this year alone, their plan, what they'll own up to, and again, you know, owning up is the hard part. They plan on buying $1.4 trillion plus of treasuries this year. Yeah, you heard me right. I don't think that's enough. But the 10-year note, the yield is doubled. Despite this, and what the 10-year note is saying, they're saying what I'm saying, dude, that's not enough. Right? Remember how bonds work. When yields rise, right, that's bad. Bad for the bondholder. And who holds the most debt of our debt? The central bank. He's going to say rates need to stay low. He's going to say we need more stimulus, right? He's going to say we're not out of the woods yet. No, oh, the virus, we don't know. And then he's going to say rates need to stay low for a long time. Right? And they'll throw out numbers. Oh, well, until at least 2023. Might as well just, why not say 2025, 2030, 2050? Right now, at least for as far as the dollar goes, they want rates to stay low until it ends. So be careful when he says things like 2023. Because I'm saying, hey, that's probably not going to happen until 2025, but he's not saying 2025. He's saying 2023. We should be worried about that. But then he'll say, but, you know, we've made a lot of progress. Really? What progress could he possibly be talking? These spammers, gosh, they don't. Somebody must have done something mean and put my cell phone number on some type of contest or something. It's crazy. I bet you I blocked 100,000 numbers, and they still keep coming. But we're talking about the progress. What progress could he possibly be talking about? Wait, you said that we need to lie, cheat, and steal from the citizenry and keep the cost of money artificially low, right? That's i.e. we want the 10-year note to be as low as possible. Think about what he's saying to you. What kind of fool leaves money in the bank and gets nothing for it? You know, it used to be you put money in the bank, they paid you interest. Your bank account could make you money. Remember those days? Right? If you had a savings account, you could make 5, 6, 7, 8, sometimes 10%. And understand the progress that he's talking about. He's not talking about rewarding you. Look at the progress we've made in lying, cheating, and stealing from the citizenry. Because remember, there's a price to pay for that money in the bank. They don't tell you. You know what they tell you to do when you go to open your bank account? They tell you to click OK, initial here, sign there, hit OK, hit enter, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're all set. What the hell did you just sign? You signed a lot of things. Number one, if the bank does rip you off, and I'll use Wells Fargo as an example, You can't file a class action lawsuit. Can't. Matter of fact, the best you can do is go to an independent arbiter that they decide who that independent arbiter is and render a decision one-on-one, right? Number two, probably more important than that, because you have no rights to go after the bank, essentially. Very few. The most important one is you no longer own that money. I know, but wait, Double. Calm it down. I get a statement, it's got my name on it. I got checkbooks. They give me a checkbook. Got to pay for those, right? Got to pay for the checks. Bank accounts cost you money now. It's hilarious. And it's got my name and address and everything. Legally, you don't own that money. And understand this. And I think this will help people. And by the way, this has been banking law for a couple of 100 years before we were even a country. So, all you people out there, well, show me the law. When did Congress do this? No. It's banking law that was established, I want to say, in the 1450s, something like that. In England, by the way. But something that could help you understand it. The bank can't lend out money that they don't own. Can't lend out money you don't own. That's why they're allowed to loan it out. Because when you put it in there, you become an unsecured creditor. And of course, right, they make you believe it's your, same thing with Social Security, right? Oh, you got your name on it. They send me a statement. Same thing. Social Security, the Supreme Court ruled, I want to say it was 1962. Social Security is a tax. It's not your money. You're not entitled to anything. The government doesn't have to pay it. Period. And that may be coming, right? They'll pay it. They'll keep sending you a check. Doesn't buy anything. Ask anybody you know that's on a fixed income like Social Security. And let's just say, especially the ones, hey, that's the only income I have. Ask them if it's getting better or worse in the last 20 years. And they'll all tell you this. Oh, it's way worse. The money I got in 2000 bought way more than it buys today. That's the central bank. And they're talking about all the progress they've made. Right? Their balance sheet that we know of is about $8 trillion. Is that, I guess you call that progress. Hey, that's progress. A year ago, it was $4 trillion. Now it's 8. Progress. The national debt. 28 trillion, 29, 30, we don't even know. Progress. And here we sit acting like these guys are the best thing since sliced bread. They're all knowing, and all the guys on the idiot box will tell you, oh, no, we can't go back to the gold standard. Why not? Because it'll hurt the bankers? It'll end inflation? That's the banker's best friend. So I guess he's right. They probably have made a lot of progress in the markets. And now we're going to wait and, play this little game. You're going to come out with a little press conference and tell everybody about tools in their toolkit and all the stuff. And don't worry. Massive inflation is coming. It's coming. How do I know? Because the answer is simple. There's an amount that eventually is too much. What is that amount? We're going to find out. because they're going to keep going until we get to that amount. And this is why you have your money put away in gold, period. Because when it changes, because it's going to change, listen, there's only a couple of scenarios, right? There's the, I'll call it the prepping scenario, but it's really not fair to preppers. Because I'm really kind of, you know what, I've got prepper qualities. You know, a lot of us do. Besides my gold and my silver, right? I've got my guns and my ammo. And I've got food put away, water. I mean, I've got, things like that. But it's either going to be anarchy. And anarchy means you're dealing with horribly unsavory elements, gangs, I'll say, Hell's Angels, but maybe worse, local militia, right? You're not calling 911. There's no police, right? Anarchy or orderly. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Right, we're going to get more banker BS today. They've lost control. We know that. They've lost control. They've created these horrible bubbles now, right? The stock market, every metrics is at all-time highs. In other words, every metrics for overvaluation is at all-time highs. And they've got, I don't even know, like 50 different ones. And I think there may be one out of 50 that isn't an all-time. It's the second highest ever. Right. Oh, just almost, All created by the central bank. See, by stealing from us, by not paying us interest, number one, they force anybody out there know, hey, I got to do something with my money. I can't leave it in the bank. They're not paying me anything. I got to at least what they want you to do is spend it, right? That's their goal. That's what they're trying to do. Hey, we're going to force you to spend it. Because what else could you do? You can go buy stuff. And they don't, stocks, bonds, houses, gold, whatever they want you to they spend it. Right? And of course, they tell you, nobody's saving for retirement, blah, 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 all that crap. But yeah, go spend it. And they already know what's coming. And it's not a secret, not even to them. They write books about it. Every class ever taught about economics tells you fiat money goes to zero. There's only one. Think about, have you ever seen, and maybe because I read these articles, I find them fascinating. I love Oak Island, right? Even though they find nothing all the time, right? I still watch that show. I'm just intrigued by that. I think I wouldn't have minded being like a geologist, and looking for into the past and all that. So I've always liked that growing up, like the pyramids and all that cool stuff. But they'll almost every week now they'll find some treasure in a field. These were Roman gold coins and silver coins, and they're hundreds, in some cases, thousands of years old. You know what they never find? I found a bunch of fiat money buried in a field that was hundreds and thousands of years old. You don't find it. Right? Number one, right? It would, the elements would destroy it. Number one, right? The paper would be gone. And number two, no currency ever lasts that long. It doesn't. and we're going to get a new currency. So, like I said, there's two options, right? No, the first option, I don't want to talk about it. Anarchy, chaos. I'm envisioning no power. That'd probably be the first thing. No power renders your bank accounts are worthless. Your credit cards, your debit cards, they're worthless. I'll write you a check, worthless. Right? So you always got to have some gold and silver for that. You do. I'd have exact change in that scenario, by the way. Because whoever's got something of value, just know there's going to be very unsavory elements you're going to have to deal with. And that's just how it is, right? The vacuum will be filled, right? There's no police. There's no federal government. It's chaos. The vacuum gets filled. Unfortunately, as we learned throughout history, it's usually filled by the cruelest and the meanest. Right? So let's set that aside, okay? Because I don't want to believe that it's possible, right? Obviously, EMP or natural disaster, super volcano, but I don't want to live in that world. That's right. No heat, no AC. I mean, you're talking about Dark Ages type stuff. So what's really probably going to happen? The bubbles are going to burst. The stock market, the bond market, the housing market. It's going to be horribly bad, right? And people are going to be out of work, and we already think we've seen the largest jump in poverty since they've been keeping track. And the money's going to get changed out because they're going to tell you this is what's going to save you. Right? Go back to like the Great Depression, 1933. Oh, it was gold's fault. No, it wasn't gold's fault. It was the bankers' fault. But they needed to get rid of gold, right? And they did. They took it away from you because they said, hey, listen, if we are in charge, put us in charge. We'll just spend money we don't have, but that'll fix it. That'll get us out. What kind of crap is that? Think about that premise. You know what gets you out? Pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, hard work, and going to work. That's what gets you out. Right? It's like do you see this equality bullcrap legislation from the left? This executive order. What a crock of crap! All you minorities, I am sorry for what happened yesterday. I apologize. Start voting Republican. You should be insulted. Here's the problem: most of them are probably clapping. Oh yes, yes. No, it's all of this that's been holding you down for all. Now they're right. You want to help the poorer communities and world. Let them go to a school of their choice. Get out of the public school system. Let them go to good school. Let them go wherever the heck they want. Oh, no, you live here. You got to go to this crappy public school. Listen, that's all liberal. That's all Democrat. It's all that stuff. We've got more black police chiefs, people of color, mayors, and representatives. I mean, it's everywhere. It's not the problem. Get government out of the way. But most likely, scenario is we're going to get new money. And it's going to be digital. I'm going to tell you why it's going to be great to hold that gold before that happens. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Think about the dollar for a minute. And they talk about, the full faith in credit of the U.S. government, right? That's what they tell you. How many of us have full faith and give credit to the government? Does anybody? That debacle we call an election, the absolute idiocracy of the person and the people that are in charge up there. And I'm not just talking about the Democrats, okay? We're like just many buffoons on the Republican side. There's no full faith and credit. I've already told you. This is how bad it really is. For the last almost decade now, the world has reduced its exposures to dollars by about 1% a year. You know, and I tell you, that's the gradual part of going bankrupt. And understand, why do they need inflation? Why couldn't they be happy if everything just stayed the same? Wouldn't that be great? Right? You gotta, they're talking about raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Yeah, that's the least it probably should be, but we also know probably really can't afford it. But this is the terrible position they've put us in. Nobody has full faith and credit in our government anymore, and rightfully so, they shouldn't, especially financially. Forget about all the other stuff. Let's just focus on financially. Somebody's going to fill the void. That void is going to be filled by the Chinese. We all know it. You need to be ready. When it all breaks, why do you want to have the gold? I'm going to tell you why. Because when the new money comes, the digital dollar makes its appearance on the stage. It's going to ignite a frenzy. Everything's going to be super cheap. Stocks will be dirt cheap. Housing, right? We know what housing's going to do. We've seen the crashes. It's going to do it again. And you're going to be able to trade that gold that you bought from me today. And you're going to get thousands and thousands of electronic credits. And you're going to be able to be, Warren Buffett, if you will. How many of us would like to go back to the housing crash and buy as many houses as we possibly could, right? I used my old neighborhood up in Anthem. You could have bought a ton of houses for like $100,000. Those houses now, they say, are worth like $400,000, right? How many of us would like to go back to Dow 6700 and buy it all up? Buy Apple and Amazon and all that stuff. We will be part of the solution when it happens. All of you that are smart enough to put some of that hard-earned money into gold and into silver will be part of the solution and part of what brings America back. Because you'll be part of the very few that actually has any money. That's what's going to happen. I guarantee it. The dollar is on its final leg. How long does that leg last? That's the hard question, isn't it? Is it 2.5? I don't even. Does anyone really think it's going to last 10? I don't think so, right? I mean, 2030, at the rate we're going, the debt's going to be what? I don't know, 70, 80 trillion. You can't have that, right? A Fed balance sheet of a bazillion dollars, right? They're going to have to reset. And when it resets, everything's going to be significantly less, except things like gold and silver. And then you're going to be able to be a big part of bringing it back. The only difference is when you go back to sell it to me, instead of me writing you a check or paying you cash, right, I'll give you the electronic credit, right? The Fed Reserve credit, whatever they're going to call it. But that's why you're putting it away. 800-951-0592. Put your faith and credit in something that's been considered money for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Right? And we've seen, I don't even know how many fiat currencies come and go. Gold's always standing. I got a great item today. Great item. $10 liberties. They're going to be $1,075. That's a huge discount. $1,075, and I've got a couple of hundred of them. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know that they'll make it through the day, because that's how crazy it's been in here. Because you know what? Everyone realized there's no full faith and credit in our government. You better look out for numero uno, right? Call the Patriot Trading Group, 800-951-0592. 800-951-0592. This is the cheapest price on gold in 10, 12 days. I mean, figure at 1,075, 210s is 2,150. You know, I think the cheapest we've had 20s in the last 10 is 2,175. So this is a great opportunity here. We know, listen, they artificially suppress the gold price. That's okay. It's okay. Listen, we want it to be less. It doesn't change any of the facts, right? The 10-year note today, very interesting, 1.01. You don't think the central bank is going to send the message that we want rates to stay super low, right? I mean, this is they have no choice. Of course, they got to. And, of course, what does that mean? Rates at zero, near zero, a 10-year note, we're yielding nothing. They don't want the money to have value, period. We don't want it to have value. And now there's a war of words going on. The euro's like, wait a minute. We don't want our money to have value. And we're like, we don't want the Japanese, they haven't had value in their money forever. This is the progress that they've claimed to have made. I'm very curious to see how this all plays out, because inflation's here. We know it's here. Right? How about yesterday? Think about yesterday. The largest ship haulers in the world are refusing to take orders from the United States on things. We can make more money going to China. No thanks. Those are facts. And I know the idiot box wants to, it's okay, and it's going to be all right. Jay Powell, the Federal Reserve, they're our friends. No, they're not. They're not our friends. They don't care about us. They care about their system. And they're going to set it up for a nice, orderly transition. How do you get orderly? How do you do that? You put enough of us in poverty, and we'll do whatever you want. You want an example? Look at this bullcrap legislation from Biden, the equality legislation. What a bunch of crap. The socialists have done more to facilitate poverty in this country. If you truly want to get rid of that, get out of the way. Get government out of the way. Get the bankers out of the way. And let that American spirit thrive again. The middle class is disappearing in record numbers. And they're calling it progress. $10 liberties today. $1,075. Get as many as you can. 800-951-0592. We'll be back tomorrow.